You want answers?
What's that going to set up?
We gotta go to work.
It's the Strat Attack Show. But we're always wondering what the next two is.
Holy shnikes at work.
That's something I want to know about.
What's your name, scumbag?
Strat Attack Show.
We're on a mission from God.
Here's Rob Smith. Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith, and if it's Tuesday, it's a Strat Attack Show where we get in the urban assault vehicle and see what's going on. So, excuse me, let's take a look. So we know we're starting off a new month, and SPY dead in the middle, and we've been talking about that since, last week when we're going to open up right in the middle of the previous range. So we're nowhere near taking that out. To start off the week, remember we tried to take the hammer out and failed and came back in. However, still some fairly tight ranges in here, so it feels like. So we'll see how do we get out of this kind of thing in here. QQQ here, kind of similar, and tried to take that week out and just came right back in. So one of the things we want to look for, well, we'll go to the diamonds and small cappers. Why not? Finish them off. Diamonds are still inside weak, not strong enough to take that out. Small cappers did and come back in, so they're all looking somewhat similar here. So what we want to look for is a concentration. If we can have that in any sector to start off. Now, it's only the first day of the month, so don't go nuts here. But here, if we take a look at energy, XLE. And XLE is taking out last week's highs, and right now it's staying there. All right. It's also, if you go to the month, it's also now 2 up on the month. Now, it's just kind of dojiing up there, but and some exhaustion risk. But we know in the past, a lot of these energies have been a lot higher, and that's one of the things we've been talking about since last year. And you can see XLE's been a lot higher, right? And if you go to ERX, here you go. Let's go blasting up to 1,200, right? So we'll see. But like I said, when you go OIH, not as much. OIH got hit today on the outside bar, so we'll see if that goes. XOP stays up, and that gives you that. Taking out last week's highs, right? There's your Rev Strat week. Boom, boom, on the XOP. And so if you go through there, you're going to see Oxy having a nice week, taking out last week's highs. And Oxy also taking out last month's highs. So it's a 2 on the month and week and been a lot higher. If you go to Chevron still going and taking out last month's highs and taking out last week's highs. Is that stuff we want to know about? It is, because it's a concentration in one sector. That means they're buying the oils, right? Again. All right. If you go to Devon, also taking out last week's highs and just kind of flirting with last month. And so we'll see. You got Kinder Morgan also doing that. Hammer down and boom, 2-2 reversal. And Kinder Morgan going after this on the month. Here, the inside month, here above 1763, sitting right close. If we go to APA, and APA also taking out last month's highs, and 2-2 reversal week, 2 down, and boom, right back through all those guys. So there's a lot of short-term exhaustion risk whenever you're going 2 in the directionally on the monthly. But like I said, it's a high concentration of the same in the same industry. Conoco the same. Also takes out last month's highs here. And if you go back out on the monthly, where's it going, Rob? I don't know, up there. So there's a nice broadening formation. There's a lower level. But if you take it out even further, you'll see this line. Ta-da, these guys here. So there's your big giant broadening formation in Conoco. So just some exhaustion risk. But like I said, it's in the concentration of the same sector that they are buying so far. If you go to Fang Energy, and Fang backs off a little today here, but still, after yesterday, above last week's high. So we'll see if that sticks. Murphy Oil doing the same, and WLL, so you get the idea there. Another concentration we're seeing is a little bit somewhat of the inflation, guys. Steel's And letter X taking out last week's highs with CCJ. Some of these metals in here, CCJ. How's Alcoa doing? It's close. So if we go to STLD, and STLD taking out those highs, last week's highs, SCCO copper. So a little bit of that, but just like I said, a little bit of exhaustion risk on these guys. And then if we poke around, you go to stuff that's close. It's taking out last week's highs, but also the month is what we're looking for too here. DraftKings, keeping an eye on that hammer there. If you can take that out, 24.73. Tried to do it, pulled back, but you can still watch that for the rest of the month. Believe it or not, Palantir. Palantir's got some distance to take the month, like a lot of things. But for all the people who've been trying to bottom pick it for so long, you just got to know how to do it, right? You could have attempted it here on the 2 down, 2 up, and then just stopped out, right? But here, this is a 3. This is a higher high. Yep, this is a 3. So now you got your 3-2-2 on the week to try and come back through all this stuff. So a little bit different of a story than it's been in the past. If we go to AFRM, also got some distance to take the month, but you're starting off the week here with the 2 down, 2 up on the week, and so that holds even though the market weakens so far. So as long as it's above this for the rest of the week, 40-20, we can keep an eye on that. If you go to Etsy 3-2 on that, and Etsy a little bit closer here too on the month. If you can take this out. I tried it. Now it backs off, but that 159.38 level going to be important for the rest of the month there. And Etsy, if you go to net, and net, trying to go inside month and up, all right, because it does take out last week's highs here, the 2-2 reversal, and then you can keep an eye on that inside month here. 123.12, so you got some distance to get back up there. If you go to Coop, and Coop's got some distance on that monthly, has gotten beaten pretty bad though, and the good thing is for Coop, you got your 2-2 weekly reversal working right now so far. If we go to another concentration again, we had LMT, and then the War Machines in Northrop Grumman. So these guys coming up real strong to start off, just exhaustion risk by going into the highs. We also have Rocket. Memer coming back. Hammer counter shooter on the week, and that's working, and that gives you the month. The 2-2 reversal month hammer over 1334. You're just barely there right now. We did have some nice solar moves today. Sag was coming up here. Sag and Run starting off the week real nice. CSIQ to a certain extent. However, after hours, yeah, CSIQ is taking out the months. The problem is FSLR is getting hammered right now after hours, so that might bring them down, but we'll see. Maybe they reverse that, I don't know, but also go after the month if it starts going back up, we'll see. Outside of that, Bitcoin rallying back, so Coinbase, and keep an eye on that. Still got some distance on that month. If you go to the week, here, hammer counter shooter takes it out, and that tells you Mara. Here, Mr. MSTR. So the Bitcoiners coming back with the Bitkern. On the downside today, we discernibly saw the financials, FAS, and still inside in the week, but getting there. And if you go to the month, you'll see this getting close to taking out that month. And KRE, still inside month, but was getting hit with it. Your regional banks, and also KIE, the insurers, they're hitting them too. There's your week, and today was kind of bloody off those inside days. So if we look at Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo taking out last week's lows, and here on the month, going after this, here, the shooter month, and that's below 50.67, you're there right now. And there's a whole bunch of JP Morgan taken out last month. Here, inside month to the downside, I believe. Yep. And so that tells us Goldman Sachs getting close to that month. Morgan Stanley, 3-2 down on the month, taking out last week's lows. You've got more insurers, Aflac, coming after the month. You've got Northern Trust, there's the regional banks. Here, taking out the monthly lows. You got American Express also taking that out. Keeping an eye on MA. Here, and Visa, all these guys. Because you also have the Capital One, you got to that. Then you got Bank of New York Mellon taking those lows out. You've got PNC, and you can see STT. So you can see the high concentration of selling there. So we're just going to see if all this stuff reconfirms, as the time goes on, because it's only the first day of the month. But right out the chute, that's what we're seeing. Also, they're bringing down some pandemics. You coming down as Win, coming down as LVS, TripAdvisor, here, EXPE, here, still an inside week, but was weak over there. RCL, here coming down, that tells you CCL, and that tells you can look at some airlines. United, still inside week, but getting closer to these things getting taken out, Delta and all that kind of stuff. So we do have some themes, and then one last one from the macro. VFC still puking, and the macro list is going to come out this weekend again, and we'll go from there. But right now, to start off the new month, as far as we know, inflation, metals, energies, a couple techs in there. They are the war machines, the bitcoins, and then on the downside, so far, financials and pandemics. But that's why we play the game every day, to reconfirm. And so that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith with the Strat Attack Show.
You've been listening to the Strat Attack Show.
It's over.
That looks like I'm running out of time again.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
And now for something completely different.
Yeah. Did you get that memo?
Go to Billy Baroo.
Billy.
Here's where they're buying.
Oh, behave.
Here's where they're selling.
Oh, righty.
I'd keep an eye on this. Is that a problem? It is.
You just don't turn it off.
I'm Rob Smith.
I hate Illinois Nazis.
I'm Smith in the Black with the Strat Attack.